Would you ban family members from posting photos of your children online? Maybe you've already done so, or maybe you're the grandparent, the sibling, the auntie or uncle, and you've been banned from doing it and you're thoroughly fed up about it. 0207 862 2222. That is the number. A writer in The Times has chosen to stay anonymous to avoid potential upset, but has publicly blasted her own mum for constantly wanting to post on social media. Apparently, it all started with a breastfeeding picture taken minutes after birth, and the demands have continued in the subsequent months. The writer says she doesn't want private moments, including potential milestones like her child's first steps, being broadcast to total strangers. But her mother has accused her of being too controlling. Apparently, she asked at one point, where's the fun in having a grandchild if you can't boast about him? I kind of see where she's coming from on this one. Let's go to JJ first, because you're the one with the little fella.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 5 on Thursday.
What have you said to family members about posting pictures of him?
Don't post pictures about him. If the account is private and you know every single follower, then it's okay. But otherwise, no one's allowed to post pictures.
And why is that?
Because he's not 14 years old yet. When he's 14, he can have a decision himself about being on there. And also, I say some pretty controversial things sometimes in my columns or on Sofa With You. I don't want people to recognise him outside and be like, oh, your dad said this about bad parenting or whatever, or women's football's terrible. You know, stuff like that.
Do you do that thing where you post pictures of him but you don't like anyone else to?
Sometimes I'll post pictures of him and you can't see his entire face. Maybe you can see his face is turned. Oh, so this picture here, you can't read, like, no one's going to recognise him in the street now. So that would be fine. But I've got friends who post pictures of their kids online, but they'll put an emoji over the face. Right. Which, yeah, I think that looks a bit stranger, to be honest. I'd rather just have the face in.
I mean, I better come clean on this one, which is I'm the sort of grandma that really does want to plaster my grandchildren all over my social media. I can't see any point doing it if you can't see them. They're absolutely gorgeous. This is AJ and me going out to, where did we go? Oh, I know where we went. Torville and Dean. We went to see Torville and Dean skating. We had the best time. We absolutely loved it. And this is Cecily Violet. Look at her, she's the baby. But you can see the older two are not shown, and that's Allegra's children. Yes. And she won't let me. Yeah. And I mean, if I'm absolutely totally honest, which I better be, I mean, I do occasionally beg. Oh, please, you know, please. I mean, I took Nerily to the ballet. She Nerily looked like just like a puff of beauty in this wonderful dress. She's a gorgeous child. Her face is peaches and cream. You could just bite her like this, you know. And I said to her, girl, go on. Let me just post. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances whatsoever are you allowed. So two of mine do get shown. Two of mine don't get shown. Yeah. Sometimes AJ does get recognised. He loves it. He says, they think I'm quite famous, Grandma. They recognise me from your Instagram, Grandma. He quite likes it. But Eve, do you think that's ridiculous? I shouldn't be doing it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't do it. I mean, I've never even asked if I can do it.
You haven't asked?
No. Oh. I have photographs in my albums, and I have, of course, millions on my phone. I just think it's privacy. I think it's something you should ask your child if they want.
Well, then your child says no, and it's so annoying.
I know. I have no idea what my child would say, but
your child is Claudia Winkleman. What could she say?
Well, she would probably say, "I am." Yes. She is quite private. Right. It's never occurred to me to ask her to do it. I'm not big on social media myself.
But if you were, you see, you wouldn't.
If I was, it. But you see, I'm
this is look here we are. Here we are. You know,
and it's sort of passed me by. I think it is about privacy. I think about children perhaps hating those pictures when they're older. I think about perhaps living in a street or a block of flats where there are people you don't quite trust. It's all about protecting the child.
And Anthea's here with these adorable... Now, these things look as if they came out of the ark.
This is the old-fashioned way of doing it.
She's going to hold them up so
I'm just going through some albums, and I've just realised that one's even got a Top of the Pop script in, and when I was presenting that one, there was Vanilla Ice and Kylie Minogue on
But hold them up so people can get the gist of what this is.
But I have those at home.
These are the old way of Instagram, which was just family scrapbook.
Correct.
The only people who saw them were you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody else now, because I just held it up on the telly. But and actually looking at them and actually turning pages over and looking at pictures around a table, you know, and everyone. And I've obviously put little birthday cards and thank you cards.
Yes,
and
we've done that.
Very, very sweet, very old-fashioned.
But
you might as well bring in a bit of flint and
but
show me how to make a fire by
But
bashing
I'm
the two
not
bits
sure
together.
that my grandchildren, in the end, might not be pleased with that. When they're older, there are those. Everybody's got cameras, chock full of photographs. When they're older, if they want to, they can put them out there and say, "This was my life. This is who I am. This is what I believe in."
Photos exist, so it isn't as if
They don't
Planning
exist.
not sharing them.
There.
Let's go to Jane. Jane's on the line in Sussex, and she's been through all this. Jane, have you been banned?
Well, no.
What happened?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't understand at all what the thought process was, and I thought my children were being really mean.
Yeah.
But I did do a couple of pictures at the beginning, and then my daughters contacted me and asked me to remove them immediately.
Oh.
And then my youngest daughter, her, let's say, relative, works in child protection, and I said to my youngest daughter, "Why are you all so reactive?" And she explained that in the child protection, the relative explained that the pictures are taken off that you put on social media and put onto bad movies, and they're used by paedophiles in magazines, etc. Immediately I knew that, which it wouldn't even occur to me. Overnight I understood, and I stopped.
And so you've never asked again? You've never said, "Oh, go on, I just want the birthday picture. I just want the one where they've won a huge trophy and an award"? No. You said no.
I've got it now, because I didn't realise, I don't think like that, so I didn't know where they went.
This is not like children in the bath, I take it, and things like that, which
of course
nobody
not. I
would
wouldn't dream of doing that. No.
post now. This is just children, fully clothed, normal children.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah, let's go to another Jane. Jane's in the West Midlands this time. What do you feel about posting pictures of children online, Jane?
Actually, I'm kind of more concerned, really, with the whole thing of parents who are exploiting their children and making money from it. It's actually called sharenting syndrome, and there are several families on YouTube who upload daily instances of their children. They coax them into playing out scenarios, and they've got thousands and thousands of followers. And of course, they're just exploiting them for money. And I'm trying always to pass this message on to them that this is what they're doing.
Do you think that's fair? Because some children are natural performers. They just enjoy it. So if you say, shall we sing a song for Insta, or shall we... They want to. They like it. And you can clearly see when they don't, because they say no and they won't do it. But I don't think it's, every child is being coerced by, nasty, manipulative parents who want to make money out of them. And also, most people don't make money from putting their child on their first day at school and their, with their swimming trophy. They really don't. These are very few, aren't they, Jane, that you're worrying about here?
Well, maybe, but the trouble is that all families see that it's an easy way to make money. I think more families will do it.
I don't think it is an easy way to make money, though. There are so many people trying to do it. I think there are only some exceptions who are particularly good at it or have got some particular sort of hook that makes people... Can we hear from Caroline in Caerphilly for just 1 second? What happened to you? You wanted to share photos with friends, and what happened, Caroline?
It was to do with when my granddaughter was born 4 years ago. I excitedly, with my husband, went along to visit the baby. She was already a week old because it was during COVID. She'd been born with a little infection, etc., and so had my daughter, my son's partner. And when I came back, having met my granddaughter for the first time, you can understand we were on cloud nine. And I put a selection of photos on Facebook with a
and did you get into trouble because we've run out of time? Did you?
I did get into trouble.
You did. All right, Caroline, thank you.